Okay. Hello and welcome back to the channel. So it's the day before the Wokingham half. It's been about a week or so since my last vlog, and thanks very much. I've had some really nice comments and some likes on the channel already, which is fantastic. Lots of people appreciating my Wokingham half recce, which is awesome. That's why I did it. Thanks for the feedback. I'm doing the Surrey half in 2 weeks' time, and I've also done a course recce of that. So I'll post that in the channel. It'll probably go up in the next few days or so. So what I thought I'd do is run through a kit check and talk race strategy for tomorrow and what sort of time I'm hoping to get. Oh, by the way, the reason I'm wearing the cap today is because I have awful hair. Because I have, after I woke up, I've tried to go back to sleep again for reasons I will go into later on. So starting from the top down, we'll start with my race vest, which is my club race vest, which is Blackwater Valley Runners, best running club in the world. And hang on a second, I'll just put the number on. There we go. I tend to use running magnets to hold my race number on, so I don't want to get holes in my club vest, basically. I can't remember exactly where I got those running magnets from, but they're very, very cheap. And if I can remember, I'll put the link on the screen now. So as far as the rest of the kit goes, I obviously am not sponsored by anyone, and this won't take long at all. I have some half-tight running shorts from Decathlon. They are the trail shorts because they have lots of pockets in, but I do suffer from chafage quite a lot, and because these really hug my legs tight, I find I don't get as many problems with them. It will be cold tomorrow. I think it's going to be about 3 or 4 degrees, but I'm not going to go sort of full legging tights. I'm going to go for the half tights, but it means I probably will wear these compression sleeves. These are skins, although I got them from Sports Shoes, I think, on a discount. The jury's out basically as to whether compression sleeves help your performance during the race. I think they're great for recovery, but basically until it they don't have a negative effect on performance anyway. So yeah, I'll wear them because it's cold really. And then yeah, running socks. I've never spent more than £4 on a pair of running socks, and these are Decathlon's very own, and I just seem to always end up wearing the green colour whenever I'm sort of going for a race, and they make me feel good. And then obviously on the feet, really that's the only place I've spent any money. And I'm wearing the Alpha Flies. If you saw my video, Alpha Flies versus Vapor Flies, you'll see that I've run in them once so far. I did about 10k in them, and they were great, and we'll see sort of how they go. Obviously before I put anything on, I'm going to lube up massively with Body Glide. I'm a massive sweater, and yeah, any part of me that rubs at all is going to get chafed. I've had some terrible problems in the past, so I find Body Glide's really, really good. And what I'll probably do is put some on first thing in the morning, and then once I've driven to the venues, put some more on. And then nutrition during the race. It's a half marathon, so you don't need an awful lot. I'll just keep. I have a big meal tonight. I don't carb load or anything like that. I'll just make sure I'm well stocked up on carbs. And then in the morning, probably just before I start, after my warm up, I'll have one of these. So these are the Science and Sport Beta Fuel. So there's about 40 grams of carbs in those. So I'll have one just before the race. So I'll be starting nice and full. And then I will carry 2 gels with me for an hour and a half at running at threshold pace. Obviously I'm going to completely burn out of fuel in about an hour, but it's lactate that's going to stop me rather than fuel. But probably what I'll do about sort of 6 or 7k into the runs, I'll have another one of these, and this has caffeine in it, and I just always find it's kind of like rocket fuel. They just give me a real boost. It's like a mental boost as much as anything. They do say with caffeine gels that the way the half-life performance of caffeine takes effect in your body, you should have them up to an hour and a half if you really want to sort of utilise their effects. But I always seem to get some sort of buzz from them sort of pretty much straight away. Yeah, so about 7 or so K into the race, as I say, I'll take one of these, and then I will have another one of these in the back pocket just in case, but I don't anticipate I'll need a second gel during the race, but possibly, you know, if I'm flagging for that hill of the Wokingham half course with about sort of 6k to go, possibly I may have another one then, we'll see how it goes. I can run for an hour and a half easily without needing a drink. I am a massive sweater though, and if I'm going to run at sort of maximum effort for about that length of time, I will need a drink. So rather than rely on aid stations, because I've never been able to do anything other than just splash myself in the face with water when I take a cup, I will carry one of these running bottles. So they hold, again, this is just from Decathlon. It holds, I think it's 260 or so millilitres. It's not very much, but I can sort of run. I'm very used to it. It's not very heavy either, and I'll fill it with an electrolyte tab from High Five. So there's no calories in this. It's just electrolyte. If it was a longer race and it was much warmer, I'd probably use something with a bit stronger electrolyte in. I've been trialing out these precision hydration electrolyte capsules, which are really good for like long runs. But I like the taste of the High Five, and it's fine. As I say, I can run with this. And it won't affect my gait or anything. It's so light, and I can literally just run. I kind of squirt it into my mouth. I'll probably do that every few kilometres. It might be psychological as much as anything, but it just keeps me drinking something. And also I find if I have a gel, no matter how liquidy the gel is, I like to drink something afterwards just to kind of clear my mouth in a way. And one final thing, as I said, I'm a massive sweater. So I found these headbands by Halo. They're quite expensive for what they are. I think they're about 12 or 13 pounds, but they have this kind of rubberized strip on the inside, which seems to keep the sweat out of my eyes. So that'll be that too. So that's kit. Now, initially, I think I said my goal was to run the half in 1 hour 35, which would be a PB for me. Be a significant PB actually. So my PB, I'll put it on the screen now, is 1 hour 36:54, which I did at the Fleet half last year, so almost exactly a year ago. And I'd run this half 5 weeks after running the Farnborough half, which I also PB'd in, and that was about a minute or so slower. So 1 hour 35 is nearly 2 minutes off my PB. I did a little experiment last weekend. So I have I've been wearing a Garmin 955 since September. And it has a race predictor on it. And in the past with other Garmins, I found the race predictor wildly overestimated what I could do. However, the 955, which is the one I have, not only is the GPS like incredible on it, it's also, I found it just knows me better. So I wear it when I sleep as well. I wear it during the day, and its metrics are pretty good. So last weekend, I wake up in the morning, I put it on the screen, and its predicted 5k time for me was 20 minutes and 7 seconds. So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll go out and run a fast park run. So it's the week before, I've got a week to recover. I thought I can go all out and see what happens. And here's my results. So not bad, Garmin. Obviously there are factors. As we know, the Rushmore parkrun courses, at times the ground's a bit unstable. I did my super shoes on, had my Saucony speeds, which are great, but I can go faster in other shoes. So all in all, yeah, I was pretty happy, and pretty good Garmin. So this week, a week later, Garmin is now predicting I can run a 5k in 19:58, so 9 seconds faster. But interestingly, the half marathon time it's predicting me for is sub 1:35, which, as you know, was my original goal. So am I in sub 1:35 shape? Well, we've got the course to take into account. As you can know from my course recce, the Wokingham course has quite a significant bit of elevation in it, particularly at the beginning. So I actually think it's going to be quite a hard course to run a PB on. That, and given my recent history has not been brilliant with the running, I had a wonderful January, but January was following my illness in December when I had COVID. And then even when I got better, I was then ill again at the start of February, and I would say I haven't had a consistent week where I've been running strong in February at all, really. I've been very much up and down. And that coupled with the fact that the last 4 nights I've slept absolutely awfully, 3 or 4 hours every night for 4 nights. And I'm a bit of a wreck even the day before. Sleep is something that's affected me for most of my life. I'll do a separate vlog on it. But I do feel like I'm not quite, although my body feels ready to race, I've just got that kind of mental exhaustion, which is quite tough, which you really need to sort of push you through when it comes to the hard end of a race. So all things considered, I think that 1:35 might be a little bit ambitious. And if I do go out at that pace with that elevation at the start of the race, and all those bumps in the middle of it, I think I might just end up crashing and burning. And given that I have another half marathon in 2 weeks, and having driven the Surrey half course, I feel that that has much more PB potential. I've decided that 1:35 is no longer my A goal for the race. So my A goal is to run sub 1:36, which would still be a PB of nearly a minute. So I'll be very happy if I get that. B goal is to just run a PB, so that's under 1 hour 36 and 55. And my C goal will be to run under 1 hour 38. So that was a kind of an A goal for me this time last year. And it'd be a good sign to myself how much I've sort of progressed over a year if I could run that, because as I say, the preparation hasn't been ideal. I think what I'll do is still aim to go out fairly conservatively. I've got a Pace Pro setting on my Garmin. So what I've done, I won't be using Pace Pro during the race because I just find it too many data screens to have to worry about it. But I will write down my sort of 5K splits on my wrist so I can glance at them during the race. So I'm aiming to go out at first kilometre at actually 5-minute pace, which is significantly slower than the average pace overall, but it takes into account that first kilometre is kind of steep uphill. It's about 25 to 30 metres of elevation in the first kilometre. So that will hopefully stop my heart rate from spiking. Then the next kilometre I can kind of make up some of that time that I've lost, and then I'll ease into the race, and really once I'm over those sort of first 7K or the first third of the race, that's when I'll try and put the hammer down a little bit. So the overall pace I'm aiming for will be about 4 minutes 33 per kilometre. So that should bring me in comfortably sub 1:36 or around 1:36. And as I say, I'll be very happy with that. So the only slight negative to this 955 is absolutely fantastic. Is the GPS is so good. Any race I do tends to come up slightly long, so I sort of have to run slightly faster according to the watch than I think I do, because knowing full well that probably what my watch will record tomorrow won't be 21.1 kilometres, it'll probably be more like 21.5 or something, so I'll just have to sort of factor that in, but we'll kind of see how we go anyway. Anyway, I'm excited. It's the first race I've done for a year now. The last race I actually ran was the Abingdon Marathon in October, which obviously I didn't finish. So the last competitive race that I finished was the Fleet Half in March last year, where I set my PB. So it's been a long time, and yeah, I'm really excited to just sort of get out there and run again and feel that adrenaline. And yeah, thank you again if you've seen the videos I put up, and if you've commented on, and some of you have said you're racing at Wokingham as well. So that's fantastic. So best of luck to you if you're going there. Yeah, like, subscribe, share with your friends, comment below, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video when I'll give you a Wokingham half breakdown. So until then, you're only racing yourself. Cheers.